we've been talking about the 38th gene key, which starts in struggle and moves through perseverance. And the Siddhi for the 38th gene key is honor. And the first thing I want to read you is this. To honor someone is to hold them to their highest frequency, no matter what their current frequency may be. Honor is a dynamic, living energy field in itself. It's the Siddhi that dawns when the warrior archetype reaches its ultimate potential. Honor is the energy field of every single human being when they are living their individual truth. In this sense, honor is something of a paradox. Even though it seems to be the peak of human individuality, it also binds all human beings together at the level of the highest self. In the field of honor, all human beings become one. This is the true meaning of the highest warrior code. Honor turns combat into a dance. It is the sword play of love itself. With honor, death is transcended, and any human action can become immortalized. Even the act of killing another person can become honorable if it's performed within the energy field of true honor. In such extreme cases, the one who is killed must always give permission to the conqueror in order for the true contract of honor to unite them. What then constitutes an act of honor? Honor is rooted in a love so pure that it sacrifices itself without a thought to serve a higher aspiration. Every act of honor carries an equalizing force into the world rather than a divisive one. This is how you can tell whether it is true or not. If the act brings people together into a higher frequency field, it's an act of honor. Honor always carries the frequency of mercy and surrender within it. Many appalling acts are committed in the name of honor. Only if they have the effect of uniting all people involved and if they contain mercy are they honorable. To honor someone is to hold them to their highest frequency, no matter what their current frequency may be. Thus, a person manifesting honor may be subjected to all manner of victimization at the hands of dishonorable people, but they will still never sink to their level. On the contrary, they will continue to honor them and hold them at the highest regard. The Siddhi of Honor carries a certain type of mythology within it. We need to remember the journey of consciousness takes through this gene key from struggle to perseverance to honor. The final accolade of honor represents a complete transcendence of all struggle, but at the same time, it still speaks the language of battle. This means that the 38th Siddhi retains a deep mythic connection to struggle, aggression, and all the darkest sides of human nature. People in whom this Siddhi manifests are the highest form of warrior. They become our holy warriors, those people who cannot be tarnished by the world and who surmount the most awesome obstacles. The 38th gene key, as we have repeatedly seen, loves a fight. These people have raised the frequency of that fight to a dance, to sacred theater. And upon that stage, they play their role with utter surrender. When the Siddhic state occurs within a human being that loses all sense of separate self, in many ways, they are simply shells through which their genetics continue to function. You might call them empty, or more accurately, you might say they were filled with the essence of life itself or divinity. Every Siddhic state carries such a powerful vibration that it either strikes fear in someone's heart, or it inspires that one to greatness. Either way, honor always reveals a person's true nature. The 38th Siddhi is closely allied to the theme of death. Honor and death have always been closely associated. This is because the ultimate honor is to give your life for the sake of others. As Christ himself spoke, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. In our ancestral past, this city has long been deeply associated with conflict and war. However, at the Siddhic level, this association is symbolic rather than literal. For the 38th Siddhi fights to bring an end to all human conflict. At times, it may enter human conflict and sacrifice itself to bring about that end. Nonetheless, in truth, this city, like all other cities, is based upon the utter respect for all sentient life. The ultimate fight, then, is the fight against fear. This has been symbolized forever by the forces of light fighting against the forces of darkness. As the true warrior of light, the 38th Siddhi does not fight the lower nature. Rather, it absorbs the forces of darkness deep inside itself through its actions, and in doing so, shines out with immense purity in the world. Honor is not about winning or losing. In a sense, the role of honor is to make a mockery of the entire concept of winning and losing. More often than not, honor is embodied when a stronger force deliberately surrenders to a weaker one. In other words, the being of light surrenders itself into the powers of darkness. This reversal of human norm tends to highlight the futility of all human conflict, and often results in the weaker force being transformed or converted. Such is the paradoxical power of an act of true honor. It always turns surrender into victory. This surrender is symbolized by death itself, since any true surrender signifies death to the separate self. I'm going to read that again. This surrender is symbolized by death itself, since any true surrender signifies death to the separate self. After death, the honorable act only grows more and more in power until it becomes mythic. One of the most obvious examples of this is the surrender of Christ on the cross. Whenever a Siddhi dawns in human being, its programming partner is also activated simultaneously. Thus, with the 38th Siddhi, we also see the 39th Siddhi of liberation manifesting. This shows the true nature of honor, to unleash a chain reaction resulting in a stream of dynamic, liberating energy lasting for generations and generations. At the shadow level, we also saw how the 38th gene key is connected to the 28th gene key through our genetics. Thus, we can see the interlinking of the themes of honor and immortality. Every true act of honor endures forever. People never forget the truly great honor, the truly great lives, and as their stories are told and retold down the ages, the Siddhic energy of the original being simply continues inspiring and liberating others. This is because the highest potential within every human being resonates to the field of honor. When we hear tales of a great act or great life, whether it be contemporary or a myth from the past, it reminds us of who we truly are, warriors fighting to overcome and dispel our personal and collective fears.